What are the 6 customer experience trends every company must consider now? Hi, I'm Bernard Mahr, and in this video I want to talk about the major customer experience or CX trends that I see. As a business futurist and an advisor to companies, I help them understand what some of the trends are. And I've recently been invited to give a keynote to a technology and telecom audience, and I talked about some of those trends, so I thought I'd do a little video to share this with you. My first trend is all about understanding the customer, but the trend is really understanding your customer. So this goes beyond understanding your customer as who they are, where they live, what age group they are, but going into much more depth. So one of the examples I was talking about in my keynote was Disney. I've actually done a video on Disney that you can find on this channel. So Disney doesn't just want to understand who you are when you visit their theme parks, for example, but they give you a magic band that allows Disney to understand how you're using the theme park, where you're stopping, how long you're queuing, where you're spending the money. And they've even started to use machine vision technology to interpret people's faces in the theaters when they watch shows to understand their emotions. So this is what I talk about when I talk about really understanding customers, is going to the next level, understanding that we're now living in this big data world. We can now use AI to understand and analyze data, and we need to go beyond the obvious to really extract insights. And this leads nicely to the second trend, which is all about understanding you in a particular moment. So serving you in a particular moment. Companies like Spotify are starting to do this. They're now understanding where you are because they have this understanding about you, that you might be driving to work in the morning, or you're returning from work, or you're sitting at home, or you're in the gym. And what they're trying to do is customize the playlist that they will give you. They will serve the music that they believe you are going to like in this moment. Again, Netflix is starting to become very good at this, understanding the time of the day, what sort of films and documentaries you tend to watch. This might be very different daytime TV at the weekend to evening TV during the week. And again, they will customize the recommendations for you in the right moment. My third customer experience trend is about anticipating consumer needs. So this goes beyond the moment, and here we're now looking ahead and saying, what are you going to want in the future? So companies like the lift and escalator manufacturer, Kony, they are now looking at machine data from all their lifts and escalators to predict when they might be breaking down. And they will use this data to then schedule maintenance and service visits to make sure they never disrupt any service experience. Another good example comes from Royal Caribbean, the cruise ship company. What they're now doing is, again, they're using technology to anticipate what you might like. So they use things like face recognition technology to understand who you are. So when you sit in their restaurants, for example, the waiter will come to you, and that person will already have some information about your allergies, what you might like and dislike, so their recommendations can then be tailored to you, and they will know what you might like or not like in the future. The fourth customer experience trend that I see is actively adding value in a relationship with your customers. So in the past, it was enough for companies to simply offer a passive service. Nowadays, what they expect is to move up the value chain, to add more value to this relationship. I've recently done a video on Vitality Health. So they are a health insurance company And in the past, that was enough. Now they're saying, actually, we can help you to become more healthy. We can help you achieve your health outcomes. We will give you an Apple Watch that helps us track you, and then we can provide you feedback on how you could become healthier. Another example is banks. So for banks, it's no longer enough to simply offer you a current account and a savings account and maybe a mortgage. Banks that will thrive in the future will have this value-adding relationships that help their customers to achieve their financial goals, like saving money. They will help them identify where they can spend less and more. So all this intelligence that is not being generated every day enables this value-added relationship with customers. The fifth trend I want to look at is augmenting this customer experience. So we now have this ability to use virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and this is offering completely new ways for businesses to interact with their customers. Again, I've recently done a video on this channel on Warby Parker and how they are a glasses manufacturer and retailer. And what they're now doing is they're using augmented reality technology. So you can use your smartphone and the camera on this and their app to simply video yourself and then try out different glasses on your face. Another one I've recently talked about is Rolex. I've recently done a video on this. So Rolex now allows you to try out any Rolex using augmented reality. So again, you can use a tablet or potentially the website in the future to simply view your wrist and then put different models of the Rolex onto your wrist. So augmenting this customer experience is going to be massive. And my sixth customer experience trend is making this customer experience tangible. We now live in this digital world where we can do anything in virtual reality, we can enter digital worlds, but actually what people seem to crave is a real tangible experience. So for me, the return of vinyl disc is a great example. What we now want to do is we want to buy a proper vinyl. We want to put this onto our record players. We want to hear the crackling and we want to see the thing spinning and touching and feeling it. So companies like Hollister are a great example where their retail stores are now designed to give this tangible experience. So they think about the lighting, how you can experience and touch their clothes. They even go as far as the smell, so they have a custom designed smell in their stores. And this is something that is a big trend and companies need to start thinking about this. The music industry is a great example where in the past they focused on mass producing CDs, then downloads, and actually where the biggest revenues coming from today and the biggest profit margins is live events. So people want to see the real thing, and creating a tangible experience in terms of flagship stores and giving customers the ability to touch and interact with their products and services, I think is a really important consideration for businesses. So let's look at one example of a company that I think brings lots of those elements together, which is Nike. So Nike is a trainer manufacturer, but what they're doing is they're trying to understand you a bit more. So they have invested in an app that allows you to track your runs, but this then gives them information on when you run and how often you run and how far. This then also helps them understand these micro opportunities. So if you've just finished a run, they might say, okay, you've now run so many miles, you might need a new trainer. And then you can use this. And then they have this new app that uses augmented reality, so you can try on. So you sit there exhausted after you run, you just see the ad for this latest trainer. You say, okay, I want to try this on. So you point your app to your feet, you measure your feet. It then provides you with the ability to see yourself wearing this trainer. It will then size your foot perfectly, so the shoe that you are going to order will be delivered to your house and you know it's going to fit. Again, the physical experience, some of their flagship stores are amazing. They're now making sure that in places like London and New York, they have these really tangible stores that provide a really interesting experience for people. Again, they're bringing some of the augmented reality experiences into their stores as well to blend all of this. And this is what leading edge companies are now doing. They're looking at those 6 customer experience trends and they're turning into really profitable businesses by applying them. If you would like to learn more, head to my website at bernardmar.com, where you can find tons of articles, white papers and videos that will give you a lot more insights into real-world case studies and examples.